Hey, you crazy cats! 42's live streams and videos are simply not available on vinyl. You will have to go to the YouTubes for that. So if you want content about British traditions and culture, cutting edge social commentary from an unapologetically patriotic perspective, along with a side order of madness you simply will not find anywhere else, then this is the place for you. And to all those early adapters in the chat, don't forget to hit the notification bell. That's how you get the good stuff, and make sure you never miss a tasty treat. So with that being said and done, squeeze yourself in. Let's get into it. You know you want to. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Please delete as applicable because the internet is wild. I'm going to try it again. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Please delete as applicable because the internet is worldwide and time zones are indeed a thing. Can I get a wee audio check in the chat? Both sounding good. Sansom was already in there. So thank you very much for that. And and a very warm welcome to everyone who has come along from Bonnie Lad's stream along with Sansom earlier. If you like my stuff, you will probably like their stuff as well because we have quite similar opinions, and therefore you probably, if you're not there, you're missing out. Okay. Generally speaking, I looked during the last bit of that stream. I like to have a bit of quiet time before stream. It's just the system I've gone into. I don't like to be reading screens because I've got to read the chat for 2 hours. So I'm never really in Bonnie Lad's chat, but I do lurk whenever I've got myself sorted. With that, I'm going to say a couple of hellos to the early adapters. And Sansom is not here. Not a problem. He's probably in the green room. Anglo, what about you, brother? Glad to have you aboard. Mr. Paka, what about you, brother? There's Bluebirds in again. I hope you're doing well, chum. And thanks for the email. Super Dave saying, something's going on. Willie's in. Bluebirds tell me sounds good. And Samantha McPie. Yes, well, everything's well, basically, apart from you may be able to tell by my voice, I am suffering with one of those cold fucking things. I've been sneezing all day. I think I'm going to be good for getting through this whole stream. There may be a little bit more video content than normal because I need to take in liquid and blow the snatters out of my nose and all that. And I don't like making news less than that because it's not nice at all. But there you go. Right, say, point in case I had to sneeze there. I normally just have to stop for a cough, and I know what that timing's like, but this is all new. Very welcome, Blue Bar. Nah, because we do have shit to talk about. Oh, yes, we have shit to talk about. I'm going to get to the housekeeping in a minute. But before I get to that, big thank you to everyone. Anglo will be coming on that. Yes, we will. We're gonna start with that because we have done over 8,000 views on that Anglo-Saxon. And also, what's really interesting is it's ticking over on a daily rate. It's collecting views at a rate similar to what a new video of mine I would expect to get. which is amazing. Also, a lot of the referrals came from a website for people that do hunting and stuff, which I thought was very strange, but we'll get there. I'm amazed. I'm absolutely blown away. Uh, Pack, I do believe I said hello to you, but if it didn't, hello again. Rags is in. Me also, brother. What about you, chum? Ugly Truths made it in. Well, you did say hello to you. I definitely did say hello to Willie. There's Willie's in. Where the hell was I? I'm all over the place tonight. Right. One. Right. Yes, I know where I was. Uh, Everybody, thank you very much for last week's stream and sticking with it and listen to my Tales of Woe. What I will say is I'm not going to go over that in graphic detail again and again and again, but I do feel like I've got a weight off my shoulder and that it's quite easy for me to say I understand about relationships because I lived through a shite one. I'm now in a good one. I know the different choices and whatnot I made that got me from shitty relationships to a good relationship and not going through that cycle that a lot of people go over again and again and again. And at least now, if I want to talk about relationships or stuff like that, I can go, yeah, this is where I'm qualified. Go watch Breaking the Taboo stream. You'll understand. So I'm really glad. I'm really glad I did that. Uh, and it's there. And anybody wants to know what the fuck that shit's like, they will know and how to avoid getting in those situations. Hashtag quite like Sansom is not here. Good. Glad to see you're not here. I'm not telling anybody you dropped in. Don't worry, we're like the resistance. We'll keep all this shit quiet. With the Martin the Free Speech Enjoyer is in. Don Browning has jumped in from down under. One a Pana, one a plane is also in. Marge is like 3 men and a dog. Yeah, it is. Yeah, don't be using that as a channel line. No, don't go in with anything political. It's never going to be the winning move. But good idea. Yeah, ugly truth. Thanks for dropping in as well, by the way. Oh, and she loosed out the dots, jumped into 42. Thank you and welcome aboard. Oh, we're going to come back to this during the housekeeping, which I'm about to get to. But we have handcrafted by Emma G in the chat. Everybody say hello. Yes, that's going to be getting the shout out in the fuck. I did that with a mic not muted. This is bad. Right. Handcrafted from Emma G is a brand new viewer. You've never seen her, heard of her. It's definitely not this. Definitely not the same Emma G, whose focals are on this Anglo-Saxon video. Definitely not that Emma G. So with that, what I'm going to do is here's what we're going to do. We're going to actually get. Oh, classic Dawn. Thank you, Field Marshal. Right, housekeeping, because we do have some bits and pieces. we're going to where? Yes, yes. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Ragnar Iron Spears channel. It's the end of the month stream with Matt the Angry Bootnet, which is going a week early, but it's still close to the end of the month, so that's all good. And a stream with Matt Angry Bootnet is always good. Uh, Informative and funny is what you get from him, so we're all good. On Monday at 8 p.m., Sansom and William, that's like but not as you know it, will be doing the alien chemtrail stream, which actually does sound like quite the interesting subject matter. That will be good. Uh, so get yourself over to that. I will be back on night shift if I actually go to work because I'm considering taking a fucking sick day, which is rare, but we will see. And John Davison streams on Tuesdays and Fridays at 9 p.m., which have become very regular, which is good because that shows us that the man's actually feeling a lot more healthy than he had been. One moment though, I just need to check the chat because Eyes Wide Shuts in. What about you? Glad to have you here. Sansom saying hello to Handcrafted by Emma G. Was there anything else? No, I think. Yes, right. Okay. Another two shoutouts. Another three shoutouts. One, Courage is a Cure, Australian girl, Claude Robin. If you want kept up to date with what's happening with news, politics around the world, and the bullshit being brought in by the woke people, Robin will keep you up to date with all of that across multiple platforms. So get yourself over to that. I am hoping to get her back on again for a end of the month stream, which is probably not going to be to the new year. That will not be happening until the new year now. But that's one of the guests who want to get lined up. Another one would be I did put out a pointer towards Handcraft by Emma G about coming on for end of the month stream, but she seemed to have not recognized that message, so we don't know about that. Oh yes, and the one and the only Dave Waffle House with the best duck race on the internet. Lots and lots and lots more ducks in. You can get yourself free ducks. Watch any video during the week. Leave a comment and you will receive free ducks. That's not free as in 1, 2, 3. That is free as in no charge for that duck. And the Mr. Waffle is indeed lurking in the chat. What about you, chump? Get yourself over to that every night from 8:30. Enjoy the madness. And another little shout out, which is coming with a link. And you can probably even do this from her profile. But there we go. That is a link for Handcrafted by Emma G, who is doing really lovely, crafty artwork. It is actually, I'm going to show you some. I'm going to show you a very, very quick bit now, but I'm going to use one of her videos for the musical interlude. So I'm going to show you a little bit of this. Because I thought it was fucking amazing. Holy shit. There's a load of videos on this. Yeah, we want this one. Right. That's about a nice place to do it. Oh, that duck race is indeed fixed. Not only is it fixed, YouTube are messing with the whole fucking internet. Uh, while that duck in the run up that duck race to try and nobble people's ducks and stuff, there's shady shenanigans going on. Right, so check this out. Uh, this is from Emma G's channel, and it's some of the artwork she's making. There you go. Oh fuck. It's actually really therapeutic. And by the way, that background music comes from Monday Club's record. And it's off the album Music for Planet X Hunter because it's Dave Waffles' missus that's doing that makes the music. And Dave says, if you want music background, go ahead and take some of mine. And it's fucking perfect. And it's absolutely lovely. And it was really great that he was so quick to say, here, if you're doing something, I would like to help. And here's what I can do. And also, thank you to Blue Bear, who has subbed. I didn't even see my duck. Well, my duck got a little bit close to the front once, but that was about the height of it. Brad, I have to send you a fucking message again. I've got that file, but can't open it. And I had a very busy week, and everything I was supposed to get done today uh, got shelved because I'm sneezing like a sneezy thing. But we'll just have to live with it and get on with it. I will get you a message off. Uh, what you're writing about sounds really fucking interesting. I'm pissed off because my devices just won't open that file. Ah. Now, is that everything? Are we? Yeah. Right. What I want to talk about tonight is. Oh, thanks, Brad. Thank you so much. You're very kind. Willie, free ducks for a comment or are yes, right. So I want to talk about the Festival of Remembrance that we hold every November, and where we are with it. And I think it's the UK petition for a general election was nearly 160,000. Oh, but they can't have a general election. They're not allowed one for another 4 years. Oh dear. Uh, guess everybody stuck with what they voted for. One momento. Right. Basically, what I want to talk about is our 11th November remembrance thing, where we have the minute silence and all of that. And whether or not it still functions as it should. Mm. Yeah, voting no confidence might do it, but you're only getting that from the members of parliament. Blue Bar, 100%. we have reached a stage now where it is hang tight together or get strung up alone, and we all need to figure that out. So, like the meme said on Dave's, dance like nobody's watching, love like you've never been hurt, make friends like you're about to go into a global collapse and you'll need each other for food and water. Yep, that's it. That's where we're at. So, I want to try to put some perspective around our remembrance events and the king does recall parliament, but only whenever he's told to. Uh, so it's while it is the king that recalls parliament, it's on a very set schedule, and the king the way our country is set up, the king has no direct involvement in any of the politics or the policies. Uh, Sadly, uh, we also could do with we're in an interesting position where we're getting a new Archbishop of Canterbury, and it would be very nice if we got a based one. We need a new based Archbishop of Canterbury, whose job is to provide spiritual and moral leadership and confidence to the king, and more particularly the new one coming in. Somebody needs to have a good sit down with William and explain to him how far his powers go and how to start using them. No is the short answer. You can, in theory, if you assassinate the king, there's going to be a king or queen, obviously, go through a coronation and take their place, but it will be the person who is in the next line of succession. If we go back to pre 1688, and that, my friend, is the fault of the congregation of the Church of England, because it's the congregation of England, the congregation of the Church of England, uh, that chooses the Archbishop of Canterbury. Uh, Granted, it is indirect, but they should not be putting anybody into a position that they can become that without being based. Yeah, which starts from the congregation. It is really interesting thing. Do you want to know how to change the Church of England in about 2 weeks? Turn up. Uh, oh yeah, the last one was the last one should never been a bishop, let alone a fucking archbishop. He had no business having any position of power in the Church of England, but uh, people gave him it. We need to change that. But anyway, I'm getting too tangenty. I need to blow my nose. This is a fucking. All right. So, our remembrance and whatnot and all of that, try to think about the right order to go on this. We're going to start with a cenotaph, which would be the focal point of the 11th of November, where we get to where we do the minute silence. I'm going to start talking about that. That is exactly it. Yeah. Oh fuck! I can only do that if I can only enact these laws if there's an emergency. I guess it's an emergency, right? So let us have a little look at the cenotaph. If you're looking at it from an outside perspective and watching the British Act of Remembrance in November, the cenotaph's what you're going to be seeing. That's this is the main thing where it happens. So we're going to have a look at the history of the cenotaph. And the first thing I want to do is look at StreamYard and see how this looks on the screen. And yeah, I think that's large enough. So you've got a picture off the right here of the cenotaph, and you can see the different branches of military and whatnot, and everybody lined up, and they're having this bit of a ceremony. The Cenotaph in Whitehall is Britain's chief national war memorial to the dead of the First and Second World Wars and subsequent conflicts. And this is where we begin to have the problem, because it was not built or designed for anything except the First World War. Taking its name from the Greek meaning empty tomb, it is the focus of national ceremonies of remembrance held annually since 1919. Designed by Sir Edwin Lutz, the cenotaph is a work of great geo geometrical purity. Fuck me. It's bad enough with words in this accent without also having a issue with your speaking due to a cold. Geometrical purity and sophistication. Its simplicity and artistry give it a universal quality, memorializing soldiers of all races and religions. By the end of the First World War, over one, one, what's that, 1 million men from Great Britain and the British Empire died in the conflict. Every community and family sharing some degree of grief for those lost lives. At an early stage in the war, the decision has been taken not to repatriate any bodies of the fallen, but to bury them in war cemeteries near where they fell. Furthermore, in, in the shocking intensity of the warfare on the Western Front, almost half of the fallen had simply disappeared. Many of the dead were found, could not be identified, and had to be interred anonymously. None of the grieving families had graves to visit at home. Instead, across Britain and its empire, many thousands of war memorials were built in the post war years, including private memorials to individuals, memorial crosses in parish churchyards, and municipal monuments in almost every town and city. Individual regiments and other military groups and formations built monuments to their dead, several of which are now in London. However, the cenotaph in Whitehall has always had a preeminent place as the nation's main place of commemoration of its war dead. By fuck, I'm having problems reading it. This is not good. Uh, Basically, we're talking about the cenotaph and it being built. Before the 20th century, war memorials in England, as in the United Kingdom, generally had mostly been conceived as memorials to victory. Wealth and social rank usually determine which individuals were commemorated. So, if you're running the army, if you're in charge of it, if you've had a shitload of money, Oh, for fuck's sake. Yes, 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 yes. It was, yep, Rags to save me again. Muted and no hearing. Oh, fuck, fuck, fuck. They are indeed. Yes. Right. Where the fuck was I? Few memorials ranked the date of Crimean War and the Second Boer War, showing the attitudes were beginning to change. After the Great War, scale of loss and bereavement demanded more fitting response to the community on a national level. Then come World War One. Then come industrialized war. Although hostilities ceased with the armistice of 11 November 1918, peace was not formally established in Europe until the signing of the Treaty of Versailles on 20th of June. 1919, in the lead up, the British government began to plan a day to celebrate victory, and the peace was due to be signed. They learned that the French government was planning a victory parade through Paris to be held on July 14th. The plans for which included a French word as a memorial to the dead, which the passing troops would salute. Impressed by this idea, Prime Minister David Lloyd George asked Sir Edwin Lutyens, the most celebrated British architect of the day, to design something similar. It was envisaged as a temporary structure erected for the occasion. So this building, this slab of stone, Portland stone that we now have in London, was only going to be used for one day. And the reason why it became permanent is what we're going to talk about. Right. Lytons was apparently already thinking of a design for a war memorial in an abstract form. A sketch by him of a design similar to the eventual cenotaph is dated 4th of July, June 1919. And I need to sneeze. And also, sorry about the constant fucking stopping, lads. Ladies and gentlemen, people. Oh, fuck. Yep. He developed his design very quickly. It was approved on 7th of July, even leaving only 11 working days for it to be built by the Office of Works Contractors. The wood, plaster, and canvas memorial was unveiled on 18th of July on the present site outside the Foreign Office building in Whitehall. It formed one of a number of focal points for the victory parade the following day. The cenotaph made a deep impression on the public, and within a couple of days, over 1 million people had visited it. A great many of them laying wreaths there. Loughton's subtle design responded perfectly to a nation's sense of grief and loss. 2 days after the parade, the Times observed that the cenotaph is only a temporary structure made to look like stone, but Sir Edward Lewis's design is so grave, severe, and beautiful that one might well wish it were indeed of stone and permanent. So as soon as this thing was made and unveiled, people wanted it to be permanent and in stone. I'm going to go into the reasons why, and I think this is a good place to break for this. Uh, Whenever we talk about numbers, about deaths in World War One, we talk about numbers and they're big and they're round, and I want to try to put a bit of perspective into this. And I hope this works. 1 second. Now, what I want to say before I go any further, so that this is extremely clear, the sacrifice of anyone during any war of that individual is the same. A man, the value of a man killed in World War One and the Battle of Hastings and the Falklands and Iraq, it's the same sacrifice and it's the same grief and loss for that person's family. There can be no hierarchy of that. However, what I'm going to have a think about is the state of the actual country. And I'm going to go about it in a little bit of a roundabout way. The first video I'm going to show you is a news report that has nothing to do with the war. Except Billy. Oh, fuck. Perfect. Right. So, a little bit of a news thing we're going to watch. Nothing to do with war, but stick with me. This is going to make a point, and I will be interrupting this because there are some things in this that do need. I'll be very quick. Right. Hillsborough disaster. Sure, this. You're going, why is he playing this?
It was like any build-up to a big game. At 2:24, Liverpool fans are seen making the journey by foot from the station to the stadium. Kickoffs in half an hour, and people are tightly packed at the turnstile entrance to the Lettings Lane terrace. CCTV footage, which was being monitored by police that day, shows how the crowd outside was growing by the minute. Inside, the two centre pens of the terrace were packed, but people were in good spirits. But at 2:40, the first real sign that things were going badly wrong, with a young boy lifted clear from the crush. Superintendent Roger Marshall, who was a police officer in charge outside the ground, is clearly worried. He later said he feared fatalities could occur. Inside, everyone was heading to the jammed centre pens, despite there being plenty of room in the pens at either end of the terrace.
For fuck's sake, I am an absolute dick. I'm sorry. This is a fucking boomer stream. Okay, right. Very quickly. Hanny's gone. Yeah, fuck. Right, okay. Yes, they sent everybody in through the centre gates because what had happened was Sheffield had put in pens, and what they had not changed was, it's low intensity today. It's not. Right, so all the tickets said to go in through the centre things because they had put in pens, but they had not changed the directions on the tickets. And I think we've actually seen enough of this to make the point. Now, everybody knows this. Everybody realizes about that. We all see how large a impact that happened whenever all those people went to a football match, and one day 96 of them did not come home. Now, for perspective, the Hillsborough stuff or my or my muting thing. Now, what I want to show now is a window. Sure. Look at me making slides and all. Right, let's see. Has this came up? Old Trafford, Manchester. Yep. 75,653. So imagine there's a match at Old Trafford, and at the same day, we're also playing football in Tottenham Hotspur. Could be a concert because Tottenham's new ground, which should be called White Hart Lane, it holds 62,000. And then if you add Anfield, Liverpool, we're going to give the Scousers a game. We're going to fill that with another 61,276. The Emirates Stadium in Arsenal, 60,704. The Etihad Stadium, we're playing at all A's. When I'm playing it, I should have put Ibrox in and only figured it after it was all done, and I was feeling too booked today. There's a point to this. And the Emirates, and we add in St James's Park, we'll get the Geordies in there. You imagine the amount of people who have to go to these matches. These are matches that are going all at the same day. And we're going to add in Villa Park, another 42,660. Right. Oh, and with the nice, you can see it, this is Industrial Revolution era building with this nice brick around the outside. Very nice. There were 62,660. And we're going to add in Windsor Park, Belfast, as a capacity of 14,000. As of the 7th of September 2005, when David Healy did score the goal, and we beat England 1-0. Now, what I want you to picture is if there was events and it was just British people going to them, and they'd randomly give out tickets, and that was all the events and that was the capacities. Do you think you would know someone personally that went to one of those concerts or football matches? Because my reckoning is you probably would. Now, whenever you total all those capacities up, what am I doing? %? Share screen. I just hope this is all making sense. The Somme offensive alone took place between the 1st of July 1916 and the 18th of November. We had British casualties, 420,000. which is the sum total of all of those stadiums I just mentioned. Went through them and added more in until I got to the correct number. So, starting from the 18th of July, well, it might have been sooner, the wives, mothers, fathers, families of all these men are going to be getting telegrams saying that their son is very fucked up or dead. And if you take just the dead alone and you take Wembley Stadium and you fill it, you're going to have to kill everybody that turns up at that. And then the people that turned up to play the match and all their staff, and then all the people who work at the stadium and do the maintenance and the groundsman. And then you might get close to the amount of fatalities. So, and all of these people, apart from being bereft of their loved ones, were also bereft of a grave. And that is why the minute silence became a thing instead of a thing, because of the level of loss that we suffered as a country. Right across the country. We had don't you start now. Nah, don't start. Yeah, right across the country. You'd have had people, if you walked across society, whenever you looked across, you had men up to 19 years old, and then they just stopped, and then you had 30-year-olds. That 10-year gap in the middle, very, very thin pickings, particularly if you're a woman looking for a partner. And it was this collective loss and absence of a grave that made the cenotaph the place that it is, and its place of semblance of and importance. I'm going to talk more about this after the musical interlude. Mark Sheldon is 100% correct. It is always a working class. The rich will always have enough money to pay one half of the poor to kill the other half. That is indeed true. And by the way, these figures, and I'm going to stop that screen. So, in a few short months, the entire capacity of all these stadiums, Windsor Park, Belfast, Villa Park, where they play the FA Cup semi-finals safely. St James's Park, Etihad Stadium, Emirates Stadium, Anfield, Tottenham Hotspur, and Manchester United. Think of all those filled. Do you think you might know somebody that was affected? Because I think you probably would. So the grief was both personal and then national. Yeah, this is true. And the other thing is, because of the way recruitment and conscription both went, what happened in that war was a whole village, a whole town, all their men folk go off and join a war. And if they happen to be in a really shitty bit, none of them come back. and it decimates that whole fucking area. And it gives that area a generation that are fatherless. The PALS regiments. Yeah, you actually call them PALS. We'll get everybody from a local area. And the other thing that, which is something that I always known. I'd always known that there was a issue with World War One, and particularly with the Somme offensive. It's the one I'm most familiar with because of the Northern Ireland connection. About the rounds falling short, and what I was always on the impression was that this caused a problem for the advancing troops because the enemy hadn't been reached and softened up. But no, these short rounds were falling on top of our own fucking soldiers who were attacking. So they'd be attacking, and the battery that they're supposed to be coming in behind falls short and decimate our own fucking people. Let alone the other problem of the battery times being set to a schedule. So you'd have a unit that had reached its objective, needed to push on, but couldn't because they had to wait in the battery, which gave the Germans the opportunity to regroup, or had difficulty with their objective and needed the battery to stay where it was. And that simply didn't happen. And the battery moved off and left them unprotected. It total mismanagement on a epic level, which led to monumental levels of death and destruction, which leads to obviously monumental levels of grief. And the outlet that we had was the things like that I'm going to talk about shortly, like the cenotaph, like the unknown warrior, and also the things that were put in place to attempt to assist this very high level of veterans, like the poppy appeal, which I believe should be restricted solely to World War One veterans, because it's not to place them higher above anybody else in level of respect, but it's to mark the level of upheaval that war caused a problem. Oh, this is true. We have no clue about how hard it was just to fucking talk to somebody from the front of the rear. It improved in World War II, and the fire support was better, but it's still not. All right, no, it's still not what it should be. And with that, we're going to have a craft and musical interlude brought to us by both Emma G and Ability of Waffle House Monday Club Record Music. And we're going to have, yep, here we go. Bum, 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 bum. Emma G video. Yes. Musical and craft interlude. I'm a fucking boomer tonight. And YouTube's not helping me. Something's not good because my computer's going all very slow. But here we go. You want to feel the city There you go. That was an MG video. If you want to hear cool tunes and watch that mesmerizing thing, it's like a fucking shiny tattoo being made. It's really good. Also, a very long time. It's on time lapse. The amount of work that goes into one of her pieces is fucking massive. Well, oh yes, which I should have said earlier. She was out and did a craft fair today and got some sales and whatnot. So it's all very good. Her stuff's selling and it's really cracker looking. And if you get over there and watch that, and the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to indulge myself and play the Anglo-Saxon because I can. And I'm honestly not feeling brilliant. So we'll do that. Holy shit. For someone only, why is this happening? I have played this a few times and it's worked. Why is this not working? Right, cancel that. Close that. I think this computer needs fucking restarted. Let's see, does it work now? Please work. Oh, it's... One momento. What the hell is going on here? Right. One second, I'm just checking something. Right, yep, that's working there. Okay. Present, share screen. Sorry, technical issues. It's a bollocks, right? Present video file. Right. Eventually. Hello, you're listening to 42's letter to the Anglo-Saxons. When you spread this message, you are the resistance. The Anglo-Saxon. The Anglo-Saxon shook his head sharply, his hair dislodging droplets of sweat from the back of his neck, the produce of moving a carcass to the workbench. The sharpened blades and cleavers felt natural in his hand. The carcass divided to his will. The Anglo-Saxon's muscle memory was that of a warrior. His body was lost to the toil, but his mind wandered to memories that were not his own. An intruder startled the Anglo-Saxon. However, before him was not the meadows and glades of his ancestors, but a butcher's shop window. While politely serving the customer, the Anglo-Saxon mourned the loss of a kingdom he had never known, of the rituals and customs that were lost long before his grandparents were even born. Outside, the street was a bustle. He knew there were others like him, ones who carried the warrior's pride. Amongst them he would find the rightful place of an Anglo-Saxon. The Anglo-Saxon.
It was not preached to the crowd, it was not taught by the state. No man spoke it aloud when the Anglo-Saxons began to hate. It was not suddenly bred, it will not swiftly abate. Through the chill years ahead, when the time shall count from the date that the Anglo-Saxons began to hate. When time shall count from the date the Anglo-Saxons began to hate.
Game over. There's a couple of things I want to say. Yes, Emma G does indeed come in like a trooper quoting Kipling, and it's fucking excellent. I will also say, Mr. Anglo-Saxon, that you've a lot to do with that. Apart from the whole fucking poem being written about you, to explain the situation. We were doing a poetry stream, and you had requested the beginnings, and as you always do, and it's a fucking cracker poem. And it was whenever I was reading it during that, and I did. Sorry, I was reading the comment there. Put the two of them together and thought that needed put into it. And Emma G's voice works fucking amazing. Did I expect it? Did I fuck? I have been absolutely blown away, amazed, and mesmerized by the 8,000 plus views. This is unknown territory for a 42. I knew it was good. I knew people would like it. But did I expect that? Did I fuck? And I've also close from that came on. I've got close to 100 new subscribers, and yes, I know YouTube goes along. You can't directly link every new subscriber you get the whatever recent video you've put up. But holy fuck, see whenever it's a massive jump like that, and it's obvious where they're coming from. It's been amazing. It's blown me away. 1 second. Exposure of this farce is the only way to stop this. We do need to expose every fucking farce. That is a total necessity. And it is a good tune. It is. What the? Oh, right. I've got dots from Michael Pagan. Evening, Michael. Where the fuck was I and what was I going to do? Yeah. So get the cenotaph. We've got all that. I'm going to talk a little bit about the unknown soldier. People, I'm sorry this is a little bit disconnected and disjointed. The point I wanted to get across was how large the Hillsborough disaster is in the public psyche. Oh, thanks, Linda. Uh, we all know and understand, and there was a national grief about the events that happened that day. They were very wrong. It was the police, it was the fault. It was ordinary people that fucking suffered for it. But that's the outpouring of grief we get for 96 people. Imagine whenever that's fucking thousands. And everybody knows that everybody around them is suffering the same grief, and they're doing their best to rub along and not fucking interfere. And it's frightful. And that's why the 11th of November and all that needs to be different. In fact, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a risk here. Good, we've got that. Would any one person like to come on and talk specifically about World War One and the commemorations, or potentially what has happened with it since? Because, yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to have one person on. We may have another guest on after that if anybody does come in, but it's going to be one at a time. Now, my point is this: people are rightly aghast that they're. Didn't see any family for 4 years because of something that never existed, but I'm not angry. Yeah, you're not supposed to be angry about that, mate. There are fucking stupid rules and that they brought in over something that didn't exist. We're supposed to just forget about that. I'm having a bit of butler doing the forgetting, and I tend to remind them at every stage. What was I saying? Yes. Oh yeah. The only reason I was talking about Hillsborough was to try to make a point of the difference in level and the obvious grief that there is in the country about to try to. The figures we'll have for that First World War are so immense it's impossible to actually fucking think about. You can sort of a way whenever you go and look at the war graves and whatnot, but it's not the same. Ah, right. Then you're. I'll try to right. As soon as you just got here, Michael, I'll try to explain what my point is. We'll do it like this. So, we know about the level of grief that there was across the country for Hillsborough and those 96 people. In 4 months in the Battle of Somme, we lost the entire, wounded and killed everybody inside Old Trafford on a full match, everybody inside the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, everybody inside Anfield. See if I'm fucking muted. No, I'm not. Everybody inside the Emirates Stadium, everybody inside the Etihad, everybody inside St James's Park, everybody inside Phillip Park, and the 14,000 that watched Northern Ireland beat England in 2005. I'll never get tired of saying that. So my point, William, wasn't to go on about Hillsborough. It was more to show the difference in to try to visualize that the amount of people that we actually lost and the amount of families that were getting telegrams home saying that their family member was dead or very, very fucked up and would never be the same again. Also, the casualty figures from World War One, the fatality ones, do not include people who died from all sorts of afflictions upon returning home from gas. So the figures, as immense as they are not even are downplayed more than they should be. One momento. Anfield's not the same since they put seats in the Kop. And not just because of the seats. There was a change happened with the support base because the people who stood in the Kop were vast majority locals who paid every week and were never set up for season tickets. And so whenever the capacity got reduced, they were the people that did not get the season tickets. And the new Kop and the old Kop were quite different because of the makeup of the people. And you'll also see that's whenever Liverpool FC became very politicised. Right. Blue bar. Yeah, maimed or mentally broken. I'm going to do the Kop. No. I'll tell you what it was. It was quite the mixture of Protestant and Catholic. And you would have regularly heard chants in the Kop of Rangers Celtic, Rangers Celtic, Rangers Celtic, where half and half were chanting. You will not hear that now because it was the loyalists in Liverpool that did no longer get tickets for the matches. Right. One momento. Hey, people, this is not working the best for me with the talking and thinking and whatnot. You're going to get another music. You're going to get another musical interlude, and I might actually wrap this up because I am really not feeling great. We'll have a little bit of harmony, melody, and rhyme.
Hello, this is 42 speaking. Welcome to the Resistance. You are not alone, and we shall walk this journey together. What about you, John? If one brings a guitar and one brings a voice, then they stand together and make their own choice. Let us gather together those that can perform, and from the scarred timbers build our own platform. From that grand house they tried to burn down, there's gold in the ashes if you look around. Let us gather together those that can perform. Then from those scarce timbers build our own platform. Build our own platform. We will sing words of wisdom. We will sing for all time. Harmony, melody, and rhyme. We descended from minstrels in old days of yore. We will create a culture as we did once before. Forced to stand by as our country was sold. Did you really think we'd leave that story untold? So one brings a guitar and one brings a voice. Then they stand together and make their own choice. They have seen the future, the way forward is clear. Among us still stands a modern day Shakespeare. They have seen the future, the way forward is clear. Among us still stands a modern day Shakespeare. Stand by as our country was sold. Did you really think we'd leave that story untold? We will sing words of wisdom. We will sing we will sing harmony, melody, rhyme. Harmony, melody, and rhyme. So one brings a guitar and one brings a voice. Then they stand together and make their own choice. I have seen the future, the way forward is clear. Among us still stands a modern day Shakespeare. You cannot kill a dream. So we will gather together those that can perform, and from the scarred timbers build our own platform. You're talking the 42. What about you, chum? If one brings a guitar and one brings a voice, then they stand together and make their own choice. Words of wisdom, we will sing for all time. We will sing for our people. Harmony, melody, and rhyme. We will sing words of wisdom. We will sing for all time. We will sing for our people with the ancient trilogy of harmony, melody, rhyme. The gods of water, earth, and land brought us through alive. The earth, the moon, the sun, each became a deity, independent parts of another trilogy. Is it a coincidence, or is it just sublime that we now bring excellence in harmony, melody, and rhyme? Control the mainstream, but you never realized you cannot kill a dream. You cannot kill a dream, and we shall walk this journey together.
There you go. That was a chunk of harmony, melody, and rhyme. I've got myself a little bit revitalized, and we're going to talk a bit about the poppy. And I think this is all about the get back in the the way it was supposed to be, or something similar. This is obviously the Royal British Legion, and it's talking about the poppy. A real poppy is a symbol of both remembrance and hope, or a peaceful future. Poppies are worn as a show of support for the armed forces community. The poppy is well known, well established symbol, one that carries a wealth of history and meaning to it. Wearing a poppy is still a very personal choice, reflecting individual experience and personal memories. It is never compulsory, but is greatly appreciated by those who it is intended to support. So, what is the inspiration and history behind the poppy field, the poppies? Doesn't that just look like a lovely place to be? That fucking destruction. During World War I, much of the fighting took place in Western Europe. The countryside was blasted, bombed, and fought over repeatedly. Previously beautiful landscapes turned to mud. Bleak, barren scenes where little or nothing could grow, except poppies. There was a notable and striking exception to the bleakness: the bright red Flanders poppies. These resilient flowers flourished in the middle of so much chaos and destruction, growing by the thousands upon thousands, and fed by the bodies of the dead. Shortly after losing a friend, then I don't know how you pronounce that word, but I call it yipes. I see it fucking all the time because it's one of the places 36th foot, but its proper pronunciation I'm lost for. A Canadian doctor, Lieutenant Colonel John McCrae, was moved by the sight of these poppies and inspired him to write the now famous poem In Flanders Fields. And it's a poem, of course, we're going to read it. In Flanders fields, the poppies blow between the crosses, row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky, the larks still bravely sing and fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead. Short days ago, we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up your quarrel with the foe. To you from falling hands we throw. The torch be yours to hold it high. If you break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders fields, row by row. Do I need to go back? So that's the poem. And the poppy inspired an American academic named Mona Summerall to accept the poppy in memory of those who had fallen in the war. She campaigned to get it adopted as an official symbol of remembrance across the United States, and worked with others who are trying to do the same in Canada, Australia, and the UK. Also involved in those efforts was a French woman, Anna Got. Right, so, yeah. Now, there they met Earl Haig, our founder, who was persuaded to adopt the poppy as our emblem in the UK. The Royal British Legion, which had been formed in 1921, ordered 9 million poppies and sold them on the 11th of November that year. So that's whenever there was no poppy as a remembrance symbol prior World War One. It was brought in specifically for that, and the funds were used to help the veterans of World War One. The poppy sold out immediately. The first poppy appeal raised over 106,000 to help veterans with housing and jobs. Now, so that's the history of the poppy and how it came to be. It was only supposed to be for World War One veterans, and I'm going to show you some of the other work that has been done for veterans. 1 second, I need to blow my nose again. Yep. And now they put a fucking pride flag on it. But here's the problem. See, once they added World War II onto it, it stopped being exclusive for World War One. And because it had World War II, they had to add the Falklands and every conflict in between, and Operation Banner in Northern Ireland, and I am for not one moment saying that any of these sacrifices were less important. I'm saying that for the country as a whole, they were not the same thing, and not what caused all of this. But once it went down the line of adding other conflicts onto it, it was always eventually going to end up the way it is, because once it stopped being exclusive, it can never return to that. And anybody trying to campaign to get it cut back to what it originally was intended to be, a memorial for that generation, for that lost part of that generation, exclusive to them, they now have a problem, because all the people that have been added into that for all those years are getting here, how long you're kicking us out, when the reality is there should have been a second day added for everyone else. Not just the original UVF, the whole fucking war, mate. It's absolutely disgraceful. World War One needs to be put in its own category, and the difficulty in doing that is going to be the fact that we have added every other fucker into it. 1 second, I need to sneeze again. Now, one of the other things that happened along with the poppy appeal and the money coming up is how come I've lost that link? This is not good. Right, I've lost a link. Poppy bracelet. One momento. Yep. Only for the UK. Well, I'm going to include Crown and Commonwealth soldiers that fought for Britain in World War One, but that's it. Really strange, yes. The French can have their commemoration, the Americans can have their commemoration, and it not interfere with us doing our thing. And us doing our thing definitely does not lessen any of theirs. A an awkward moment whenever you've thankful villages. Right, that one. I can't fucking believe I say I've lost the total link. I was going to show you a fucking housing area. Oh. Let's see if I can find this. I think I might have found it. Sorry about that. We're about to find out, and we're just getting through the advertisements. Yes, we are. Check this out. These are ex-servicemen houses in East Belfast. I'm going to show you a couple of little bits of this. Hopefully, this is going to work. Please fucking work. Please be well to think.
Main part of the talk, wanted to dispel a couple of myths about the veterans colony at Craiga. Firstly, the houses were not built exclusively for men who had served with the Ulster Division. They were built for men who had served with the Army, Navy, or Air Force. Secondly, I've frequently seen comments about the layout of the colony being in the shape of a Union flag when viewed from above or when viewed from the Castlereagh Hills. That also is not true. During the talk, I'll be referring frequently to the ISSLT, and that was the Irish Sailors and Soldiers Land Trust, and they were the people responsible for the construction, maintenance and management of the houses in not just the Craiga colony, but across the whole of Northern Ireland. In April 1922, Castlereagh Rural District Council rejected a proposal for the erection of 34 houses for ex-servicemen. They did so for several reasons. Firstly, they did not provide for sufficient drainage from the scullery sinks. The proposed widths of the feet did not comply with the council's bylaws, being only 15 feet wide rather than the required 36 feet. The plots were too large as gardens, but not large enough for profitable cropping. And the present practice in other public housing schemes was to have a density of at least 10 houses per acre, whereas the proposal would have been for 2 houses per acre, which was in keeping with the erection of houses in rural areas. The following year, a revised proposal was submitted.
I don't think this is the fucking one that I thought it was, but we're going to give it a whirl anyway. 1 second. No, it's not. Fucking bollocks. One second. One momento.
On 10th November 1929, newspapers reported that 2,000 people gathered at the colony to witness the unveiling of the Celtic Cross War Memorial that commemorated those from the Craiga district who fell in the Great War. The unveiling was performed by the right.
Just going to pause it. George Best, he grew up in where these houses are. You come out of those houses and there's a main road, then there's another estate, the other side of the road. George Best grew up just the other side of that. And in the one that I was going to show, well, it's obviously the wrong fucking video. There's a picture of the local Orange Order, and that would have been the lodge that George's father, Dickie, was a member of, and George was a string boy. So everybody that says that George was half Catholic or anything, they're bullshitting you. He came from this sort of an area. And these are the ex-servicemen houses close to the area where I live and grew up.
Honourable John Miller Andrews, whose younger brother Thomas was managing director of Harland and Wolff and perished in the sinking of RMS Titanic. Amongst the numerous wreaths laid were ones by the Willowfield Unionist Club and by various youth organisations, including the Boys Brigade. You can see the Boys Brigade, two young lads getting ready to lay their wreath up in the corner. And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings this part of the presentation.
Oh, the buildings aren't just still standing; people are living in them. These are a whole bunch of houses that were built for ex-servicemen. You had to be you had to be a serving soldier in World War One to get onto that list. It was reduced rent. There were better sized houses, better gardens. They actually, in the places where these colonies were built, they did a really good job of providing for these men. Now, was there enough that everybody got? No, there was not. But it is what it is. Why did they stop? Run out of land, run out of money. A lot of these places were all built on land that was sold way too cheap because the person who owned the land wanted to sorry, I was just checking the comments. There were landowners were selling off the land cheap for houses for ex-servicemen as part of an act of remembrance as such. Those houses are all still there. Very nice houses. I was going to say something. No, not. I'm not going to mention that in and around there was a couple of porn hedges. Yeah, there was hedges around there that you'd regularly find porn if you were a child, or like 10 to 14 or some shit like that. Walking about, you would randomly find porn about there. So there is life that goes on there as well. And the other thing that I want to mention, as you've seen there, was the reef lane. And yep, here we go. I've got a picture I'm going to share with you of a reef that has been laid, which is all know a little bit about. Let me see. Hold on. Present. Share screen. Window. Cancel that. Fuck. It's live, but not as we know it. Yep. Let's see. Hold on. This computer really needs fucking restarted. I'm sorry if anybody heard any of that. Fuck. Where the hell am I? Right. I need to find the actual screenshot first. Come on. Oh, there you are. Yes, reef lane. Share screen. Share screen. A lot of reefs get laid every year. typically like something like this. This is one that was led by John Davison on behalf of the People's Party, formerly known as the Pensioners Party, in Greenock, local to where he lives, and he went along to his local his local ceremony and left his wreath. And the wreaths are typically like this. You'll have poppies or flowers around the outside, and then you'll have the name of the organisation, or in this case, the initials, the Pensioners Party, because people want others to know whenever they have whenever they've left their wreath, they want to know. They want to respect the dead, but they also want people to know that they physically went and done that. So you'll have the wreath bit around the outside for the fallen, and you have the organisation or the person's name in the middle. For those of you that are still a little bit confused about the popping, the red represents the blood and the death. The black pin in the middle represents the suffering, and the green fern leaf represents new growth and hope, and should be pointed at 11 o'clock. And oh fuck no, please! I'm ill and it's a one-off. I will not be given that again. The stream belongs to the fire, but I'm fighting it, Brad. I am fighting it. And with that, people, I'm going to cut this a little bit short tonight and play a music or outro or fucking something and let you all get about your way. Ha! See, people are learning old stuff again. I love it. Right. Yes, I think we're going to we'll stick the Anglo-Saxon back on again. I'm going to put your comments up in the stream. Thank you very much for bearing with me tonight. And I hope at least some of it. Oh, Anglo's requested Eat the Bugs. If I can get Eat the Bugs to play, which at this stage, God knows, but we will give it a whirl. It's the only one I don't have fucking queued up right enough. So we'll stop that screen. We'll give us a half a chance. And we'll go for a video file. And we will see if we can eat some bugs. I'm expecting this to possibly take 2 fucking goes to load. Because life is just like that now. No one knows how or why. It's like watching a fucking squirm, and I need to sneeze. And close that shit off. Present video file. This computer's all gone very slow, which may have something to do with its inability to share, for fuck's sake. Please work. Please. I've pressed all the buttons in the right order. Honest.
Speaking. Welcome to the Resistance.
You will own nothing, and you will be happy. And you will eat the bugs. Eat the bugs.
Oh shit, man. Eat the bugs? You got me wrong. You got me so wrong. You ever seen a cave drawing of somebody with a spear hunting a mosquito? Well, me either. We eat meat and we have choices.
You cook the hedgehog right, it tastes like chicken. Fucking chicken. I ain't eating your bugs. I ain't eating your bugs. I started off with nothing and I'm never going back. I'm not getting on your progressive track. With Agenda 2030, I refuse to engage. I can see where it is going and it's just another cage. I've got hedgehog, I've got rabbit, I've got wild hog. Fuck it, I could even move to Alaska and get me a nice caribou. Fuck it, I'm not eating your bugs. You're trying to take away what I fought so hard to get, so I'm going to say no to your cattle car trade. Eat the bugs? Live in some communal pod with no fucking privacy? Oh, nothing and be happy? I've seen the people with nothing and they don't look happy. Eat the bugs? Live in some communal pod with no fucking privacy? Oh, nothing and be happy? Not eating your bugs. Fuck it. Fuck it. I'm not eating your bugs. Fuck it. I'm not eating your bugs. Fuck it. Fuck it. Oh shit, man. You got me wrong. You got me so fucking wrong. There are millions of us in the UK, billions worldwide, unvaccinated, striding out into our third winter of death with not a care in the world. Eating pig, eating cow, eating chicken, and we will not conform. Fuck it, I'm not eating your bugs. Hey, Klaus Schwab, this is 42, and I want the word with you. Motherfucker.
This is the fourth industrial revolution. We have another opportunity for the great reset. Technology is a critical weapon. History is truly at a turning point. We can shape a better world, and we will reglobalize to make it a better place. So will all learn, and so will the earth, and so will eat the bugs.
You got me talking. Why are the United Nations in charge of Stonehenge? Keeping me away from the stones? That's not world heritage, that's British heritage. You're getting to a point where the people just want to be left alone and going to get involved. Tell me again, why is the United Nations running Stonehenge? Fuck it. Stonehenge museum's a fucking Perry Mountain Range now owned by UNESCO, so you and I can never go. Fuck your 15-minute cities and your Internet of Things. We are going back to nature, see what that life brings. We had a good look at the barren new day, so we hook up with the Woodlander and take our shit off grid. Fuck it. We hook up with the Woodlander and take our shit off grid. Fuck it. We'll hook up with the Woodlander and take our shit off grid.
You were all as you were. Eat the bugs. Eat the bugs. So be happy.
This is 42 speaking. Welcome to the Resistance.
Fuck it. Hello, you're listening to 42's letter to the Anglo-Saxons. When you spread this message, you are the resistance. The Anglo-Saxon. The Anglo-Saxon shook his head sharply, his hair dislodging droplets of sweat from the back of his neck, the produce of moving a carcass to the workbench. The sharpened blades and cleavers felt natural in his hand. The carcass divided to his will. The Anglo-Saxon's muscle memory was that of a warrior. His body was lost to the toil, but his mind wandered to memories that were not his own. An intruder startled the Anglo-Saxon. However, before him was not the meadows and glades of his ancestors, but a butcher's shop window. While politely serving the customer, the Anglo-Saxon mourned the loss of a kingdom he had never known, of the rituals and customs that were lost long before his grandparents were even born. Outside, the street was a bustle. He knew there were others like him, ones who carried the warrior's pride. Amongst them he would find the rightful place of an Anglo-Saxon. The Anglo-Saxon.
It was not preached to the crowd, it was not taught by the state, no man spoke it aloud when the Anglo-Saxons began to hate. It was not suddenly bred, it will not swiftly abate, through the chill years ahead, when the time shall count from the date that the Anglo-Saxons began to hate. When time shall count from the date the Anglo-Saxons began to hate.
Game over.
Oh fuck. Excellent info from the butcher. Pigs aren't so heavy. 4 1/4 of beef are much more awkward. Fuck. Mom spent this time moving meat about. The MG link, I'm going to get that now. I've got it here. Oh, fuck no, not I don't. MG channel. There you go. That is a link for MG's channel. And all I can say, people, is thank you very much for sticking with me tonight. Haven't been feeling the best. I'm off for a hot water bottle, but I've been 42. The virus has been the virus, and you lot in the chat have, as always, been fucking amazing. Thank you. Good night. God bless. See you all next week. I'm out of here. Goodbye.